This is One More Down podcast in collaboration with Youngstown City Schools and Chauvin Broadcast Media Productions Company. We're here with the leader of Youngstown City Schools, Superintendent Jeremy Batchelor. To the left, my co-host and founder, Dallas Saunders of One More Down. Today we have Mr. Batchelor on. He's here with us. We're viewing the last meeting between Youngstown Chaney and Youngstown East high schools before consolidation to become one Youngstown Unified High School. Mr. Batchelor, can you give us a few thoughts about your vision and what is leading to this glorious day that we're witnessing today?
Well, first of all, thanks guys for being here. Thank you guys for taking me up on this offer. When we decided to do this, you guys have been gracious and say, hey, let's do it together. I really love your guys' show and what you do and what it means to the area and football for this area. And as a former football player, and then I get to be the leader of this district, which is one of my greatest honors in my life. But at the same time, we have a lot of work to do here in Youngstown. And so it's really not my vision. It's one vision, one Youngstown. And I want to thank the Board of Education for their leadership and what they have brought, the plan that they put together. And they've tasked me with making sure it happens. And so we're doing that. But in doing that, we're always going to keep our scholars at the forefront of what we do. And so today we have scholars recording this and working with you guys. And so they're getting real life experience. And so for me, it's not just about football. It's about everything we do. But we use those things to make sure that these kids get what they deserve. And our community knows what great kids we have. And so down on the football field, warming up, getting ready to play the last game of, I guess we'll say the last game of the City Series. And a lot of history in the City Series. I know you guys are going to be talking to some other people. But they're going to close it out with a great game. And the game, it means even more today because East has an opportunity to make the playoffs. They win, they're in. Chaney gets to be the spoiler, potentially. And so it's the last game gets pretty warming. And so I'm excited. And then we've been out here tailgating. We've got the community out here. We got board members over here. It's just something, I feel really good. I feel special, and I'm glad you guys decided to be a part of it with us.
Yeah, it's definitely a good vibe. Like you mentioned, there's a little bit of energy, and I think that's kind of an aspect of, not when you make a change, it's tough.
Yeah.
And I arguably for people of our generation, it's tougher to change in East closing, which isn't the first time, right? Things change, right? Things change. And we're sitting at Rayen Stadium where my sister graduated from, and I grew up a few blocks down the road here. So there's definitely a level of nostalgia. But I also feel the excitement of something new, and kids are more resilient to change than maybe adults are, typically. And what are you excited about with this change specifically?
Look, I'm excited for what it means for Youngstown and the opportunities that we're going to be able to create for kids. Again, we're going to put together a powerhouse football program. I know that because I believe in these kids. But for me, it's bigger than just football. What we're going to be able to create as an academic institution, more electives, utilizing Chauvin to a greater extent. You see the talent that we have and the programs that our kids have. Chauvin's not that place of, welding and just carpentry anymore. It is, we got, these kids are going to be, the ones rolling your news here in a couple of years. The folks that are going to be the engineers and the doctors of our next generation. So what we're building for the city of Youngstown is what I'm excited about. Now, from a football standpoint, old football player myself, got the bad injuries to show for it and bad hips. I'm excited. And these kids, I did my podcast, the Belly Left podcast this week, and the young men that we had on, they already know what it is. They're already talking about, they want to get out there and win this game here today, but they're already looking forward to coming together and being one program and being our defenders of Youngstown. And, I'm going to speak for them. They're already putting the area on notice in terms of what's coming and what they're going to be able to do together in the classrooms, in the hallways, and on the football field.
The three of us all know from experience, you guys being Ursuline and Mooney guys, myself being a Youngstown Chaney alumni.
You know what I mean? I had to throw that in, but anyway.
But the three of us, we've got a long vision of what once was. We have the old days where there were more schools open and more competition. But the one thing about it is, consolidation or not, the lessons that are being learned and the benefit that comes from being part of the team and representing your community and getting to express yourself on the gridiron, it goes a long way in life, you know. So for the two sides of town to come together and be one unified school, wins or losses or not, that's just going to propel those kids on the great things, and they'll be the first to kick it off for those coming behind them.
100%. They're just like you on about history, and you are as well. And you know, for everybody some people still don't understand the why. But we got to understand the why. And I went to the class of 1970 and Rayen School's reunion last week, and then so we did a little history. In 1970, the population of Youngstown was 140,000 people in the city. Today, the population of Youngstown sits around less than 40,000, okay? And it's probably less than that now. That was the census of 2020. And so, just do the math. We have to recognize who we are, and we have to become the city that we truly are now. And so from a schooling standpoint, would I love for us to have 5 or 6 schools like we used to have? Yes. But that's not who we are. So now we have to know who we are, come together, put those resources together, and then become still the beacon of this Mahoning Valley that we can be together as one school. So I want to say to the community, please continue to get behind, not me, not our board, but our kids.
Well, it's certainly not all about athletics, but the football does have a way of community together.
Yeah.
And today's an example. You have your Chaney Hall of Fame induction. You have your East High homecoming taking place, right? You have your Chaffin students, scholars here putting on this production, and what I mean, this is amazing, and the responsibility that you give, right? And that's so important. And this is done around, you know, an event, but so many people get to participate in it. So just thank you for coming and being part of it and allowing us to thinking of us and to be here as well.
And like I said, I think I love what you guys are doing, and we're going to try to keep it going because the big body to the foot down, Valley, you got to bring the light. And so I appreciate what you guys do, and thanks for being here. Now I got to go watch some football. All right. Dang right. All right. Appreciate it.
This is One More Down podcast here at Rayen Stadium. Today we're here to witness the last meeting between Youngstown Chaney and the East High Golden Bears. We're talking with a former city school player, Breyon Jackson, class of 2004 out of Youngstown, Woodrow Wilson. He's going to give us a few thoughts on his memories and his time in the city series as a player. To his left is Dallas Saunders, the co-host and co-founder of the One More Down podcast. And we want to give a special thanks and shout out to Superintendent Jeremy Batchelor for allowing us to be a part of this celebration today. Good to see you, Breyon.
Oh, good to see you too. Thanks for having me on today.
Yes, sir. So, you know, we're here to witness this last historic game between the two City Series schools. I know they go by Steel Valley Conference as of late, but for us old guys, City Series is always going to stick. For you, you know, what were your experiences and your memories and your thoughts as a player? And then if you could follow that up with some of your thoughts on the two teams that are meeting today for the last time before consolidating and becoming one entity.
Well, as a player, it was always the school activity you had leading up to the big game that you had. Whether back when I was in school, it was Chaney, Wilson, and Rayen. And each week we had festivities throughout the whole week we would do leading up to the game. But it was always fun. It was never combative, man. You got to play against your friends, your buddies. I went to Wilson. I played up going against Justin Hood, Mike Hall, Ed Mack, Roy Yoster, Trevathan. So these was all friendly rivalries because after the games, after we get done battling and losing as Wilson did, we go hang out afterwards and have fun. And now you got these two schools, Chaney and East, going. And so both schools are good schools, good players. I used to coach at East, so A lot of these players, when I started coaching, are freshmen now. They were freshmen then, and now they're seniors. So these guys are going to go into adulthood and be mentors and young men of the city. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game. Coaches is great at both schools. They're coached very well with Mark Rayen coaching East and Seth Antrim coaching Chaney. It's going to be a heck of a good game today. Reminds you back when I was a kid and bring all the fun back to it.
Yeah. And so when you like now you're in a different role, right? So you're announcing the game today, right? Yes. So you get to see both teams, and there's an element of contribution and being part of the programs to some degree. What does it mean to you today, being here with the significance behind the last, in essence, City Series game, these two teams being opponents, and then next year they're going to be teammates? What does that mean to you in your role today?
It's an honor. Yeah, it's an honor to be here. I'm privileged, thankful, but it means unitedship, camaraderie. Everything's coming together. One school, one team. It's going to be a new foundation, new morals and roles to build with the players, and just a new environment. I mean, this is something. I'm excited for this. We're truly excited. I hate to see it go, but I'm excited for the unionship of both schools, both sets of kids. When I say the sets, East, Chaney sets, and a lot of you kids live on the same town, live on the same street, just might go to different schools. And now we're all coming as one, so it's time to create new memories and new expectations.
Right. With life comes swift transitions, and as you age and get older and get experience and go through things, you realize that nothing can stay the same forever, but it doesn't take away from what was. For you, when you think back to your time as a player, what are those significant memories and lessons that came from participating and being a competitive athlete?
One lesson. It was a memory, but it was also a lesson. My senior year, I got in trouble because of Wilson ran week because our team took it above football, and that's what made me learn that this is bigger than football. This is life. Like some chances was ruined there, and this is why I'm so faithful and hard on the kids here that I coach, mentor, teach, because there's life after football. We had some good memories playing at Wilson, going after the games. Memories with our coaches, just so many different things going on. And now these kids are about to make new memories. They're going to go back 10 years from now, talking to their friends, talking to their grandkids. Well, we were the Eastern Chaney game, and it's just the roles and memories go on, and they're marked every year. Each different group make their own memories. They set their own roles, and we go on. But back when we was in, we looked up to the generation before us. They laid the foundation for us. We laid the foundation for them. It's time for them to lead now.
That you have duties today with all that's going on, announcing the game, announcing homecoming, and then today is also the induction for the Chaney Hall of Fame. There'll be some good people, some of my classmates going in. So, it's a pleasure meeting you. Finally get to see the man behind the post.
Thank you. Great meeting you guys, too.
Thank you for jumping on with us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping.
Yes, good luck the rest of the day. Enjoy. I love what you guys do. Enjoy the game. Enjoy some good football today.
Absolutely.
Yes, right. Have a good one.
We have Coach Marrow on with One More Down in conjunction with Youngstown City Schools. Others may know him as Brian Marrow, the two-time All-City split in. Others may know him as Wisconsin Batchelor defensive back. I'm appreciative to get his thoughts and his memory, as he has a long running lineage of individuals that have played in the City Series, from his brothers, from his players, and he's still actively engaged supporting our young people and pushing them to great heights as he's coaching with the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals under Coach Frank Winphrie. So thank you for joining us to give us your thoughts and your opinions.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
You know, you have a vested interest in today's game as you were the head man in charge for the East Golden Bears as they made that last playoff run before dividing back into Chaney and East. You have a lot of guys in your coaching tree that have benefited from learning from up under you. And then, you know, I think that it's just great that you're the lead of your brothers who are great representatives of the game and have pushed that to new heights in their own right. You know, as you think back in your time being a resident here and all of the football that you've seen over the years, from the great days when there were 7 high schools playing in one conference, you know, how does that feel today, knowing that you're going back to consolidation and it's going to be one Youngstown Unified High School?
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat disheartening just from, you know, just coming from, like you said, we had 6 city schools. And it was, you know, the population was booming here, the economy was. I mean, that's something that had to be done now, the way the economy is and the population. And it's great that we are going to one school now, I believe. It was just time to do that. And I think it's going to be some positive things out of it.
You know, you're no stranger to Rayen High Stadium. When you go back to some of those great years at your time at South, you know, what are some of those immediate memories that come to mind for you, thinking about the times that you displayed your talent on these fields around the city?
Well, just thinking about me, I was just at Foster's yesterday talking about a game here at this stadium, talking about one particular player, Garcia Lane, how we were talking about how the situation with Ursula, how some kids that, you know, not getting a chance to play their senior year, they may need that senior year, and it just brought a memory to me about Garcia Lane, how he didn't have any offers and anything, and, you know, that senior year, it was like, it was an article in the paper about coming to see, if you want to see a lot of the scouts from different schools come tonight to see Rayen Stadium, to see South High versus Ursuline, to see Brian Marrow, Willie Green, Tyrone Ivy, Daryl Smith, and no mention of Garcia at all. And like I said, he didn't have any offers or anything. He played JV his sophomore year, junior year he played. And the first game we had here was against Ursula. He had 5 touchdowns, 263 yards, and like 11 carries or 13 carries. And it's like, well, they're here to see Dallas. And him is like, well, who the heck is this guy? And it just kept going on from here at Rayen Stadium. And every time I think about Rayen, I always think about our first game that season, 79. That's when we went on to be undefeated. And we had just a lot of great talent on that team and on the south side in that area. It goes back to my street alone. We always talk about Dallas and D-Block from Hillman to Overland. That's maybe, I don't know if it's 200 yards. And it was 8 D1 guys in that block. And 4 of them was on our team. You know, for a minute, Garcia Lane lived on that street when they had Willis Street Market, like right around the corner. You know, he went to Ohio State, was a co-captain. Willie Green, Arizona State. Myself at Wisconsin was a track captain. And Greg Anderson, who recently passed away in Southern Illinois. And that was just that year. We had us 4. And then the first guy was Edward Coachman. He went to Cardinal Mooney. He went to Grambling State. And then after that, my 3 brothers, you know, DeWayne followed me, Wisconsin, Vince at Toledo, and then Raymond. He was a quarterback, went to Oklahoma State before transferring, but it was just a plethora of talent. I think we even had more. Like, someone told me about Chris Williams. I forget what school he went to. He was a quarterback. And every year, the quarterback on our street was a junior high school. It was like the champions of Princeton. Barry Moody was the first guy. He didn't go on to play college, but they won the championship with him there. Kelvin Hayes, he was a quarterback on our block. They won the championship. Then I was a quarterback. We won. And the guy I just mentioned, Chris Williams, is like, it's just crazy, that area. And then 2 streets over, you had Chalmers. You had 7 D1 guys. And I mean, you know, Greg Brown wasn't D1, but he should have been because of his height. And he was on that street. And you had it's just crazy how much talent in this 200-yard radius. And Harry Royal was right there in that corner, world champion. Like I said, 200-yard radius, we talk about that a lot. It'd be a movie about that, all the talent that came out of there. World-renowned pastor Rod Hennings. And then even though they didn't grow up there, but their dad and grandfather, the Mitchells, Keith Mitchell's playing for the Baltimore Ravens right now. His dad got a Super Bowl ring. They played for the Youngstown, Little Braves, all in that little area, man. It's just crazy, unbelievable. Like,
Yeah, you've seen it from a number of areas in terms of, you're the head coach of Wilson, East Valley Christian, right? So you
A lot, yeah.
you've been, as a player, you've seen so many talented guys. As a coach, you've seen so many talented guys. What do you think that says about this city and the impact that athletics and specifically football today we're kind of talking about has on this area?
it's a hard-nosed, blue-collar city with it goes back to on that Mike and Mike show when they were talking about the per capita NFL players, and Youngstown was number one, and Cleveland was in there, the top for it. Pittsburgh, who's it's not in Ohio, but it's an hour from us. In Canton, those were the top four, and it's just this area was just. And then you go along on the south side, you got the Stoops and the Pellinis, Mancini, that area there where they just. It's just like it's unbelievable how much talent in this area.
So, for you personally, what is it about the game of football and what it brings out in young men that keeps you wanting to come back and do this year after year?
Wow, everything. Because I was younger, doing things I shouldn't be doing in the streets. In junior high, growing up fast. But I had my older brothers, Darnell Marrow. Darnell Marrow was my hero. He hit the streets a little bit, but he wouldn't let me do certain things. And some of my older friends said no. And then when I started getting recruited, Coach Stoops was like, he's like my second dad, Bob Stoops. And we still have a great relationship to this day. And where he saw that, we got teams starting to recruit me, is like, here's a way out, a way to get things better for your life. So that just changed it. It just shifted momentum to, where my life could have been heading. Not having football, having a coach, somebody like Coach Stoops and other coaches, Bob Mansfield, like Scotty McDonald in my life, Roland Smith, guys that just, led us in a different direction, the right direction.
You're just listed a who's who of football in this area, from players to coaches. And, it looks like you could go line up and play right now, sir. Congratulations to that.
We can run 10 yards and pass out. And I still race some of the guys at school, but it's like, I'm like really winded. I need to work out, but a little lazy.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. And, I've had the opportunity to know you since your days at Wilson and going to FCA breakfast and getting to know you as a person and just what a great man you are and a difference you're making to the kids. So
that's how you always been, Dallas. Great coach. I'm surprised, man. Well, I'm not surprised, but you should be coaching too, man. You always are a great coach, a great leader. I don't know why you.
I'm undefeated from the fence, man.
Yeah. Right.
Now, one day I'll make a good assistant coach again. One day. Yeah. When you get back in, I'll come work for you.
Oh, you hear that?
Here you go.
It's on tape. It's on tape.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. We have my former teammate, Mr. William Guy Burney. He was also a neighbor of mine growing up. But we were teammates on the first playoff team in Chaney's history during the 1991 season. Pastor Guy Burney was an excellent kick returner. He was a former quarterback before transferring over to the receiver position, and he is still staying actively involved and engaged and plugged into the inner fabric of Youngstown. It's a pleasure for me to see the good work that he is doing with the SERVE program, leading his congregation, and being the stand-up guy that he's always been since we were young little boys running around playing rough and tumble together.
Absolutely.
So it's a pleasure for me to get a chance to, have you give your thoughts and your memories of your time as a player and, just some of the things that connects you to what the meaning of this game is today.
Oh, thank you. So first, it's so good to see you, man. When I walked up today, my heart was jumping because of the excitement and what this means. And just to be here for this moment is important. So I thank you for having me. It's good to see all of you. But I guess, man, we go back to 1991 when we didn't really know what to expect. And they told us we were going to be good. I don't know if we knew. We were working hard. But, man, that was a magical season, man. I just remember game after game. We're pulling it off and going the distance with teams. And it was amazing. Coach Burtis and all those amazing folks that were around us. I think the biggest thing I remember is community, man. I remember really hard practices, but I remember really good times. And Chaney was a place for me, man, that it was different. It taught me to grow, right? Because most people don't know, you, myself, guys like Sylvester Patton, we lived on the south side of Youngstown. And so we were on transfer because they wanted to increase the diversity of Chaney High School. And so we were a part of that process. And just like this merger, many people didn't think it would work. But it was one of the most amazing things that happened. And we made the playoffs the first year. So my memory is always good. And the friendships and the connections and learning how to work with the community came out of that space.
I agree with you. Sometimes when you're in the midst of participating or performing, it's lost on you just the valuable lessons that you're learning and the exposure to good, solid men that have a moral foundation and are doing things the right way for the right reasons, how far that carries you on in life. And, as I look around at the crowd and I've seen a few people from the past that I've been friends with forever, I see the effect of that mentorship and how it's played out for them and even for their kids as a couple of them are out there playing today and participating and carrying on that.
Absolutely. Chaney was just an amazing place, man. It's so good to be here. Many of my friends are out on the field right now because they're in the Hall of Fame this evening. And I was able to call them friends. Nobody knew as we look now that was going to happen. We were just doing what we always do. We're just working hard, playing, having a good time. And I'm so happy for where people are, man. It's the people. And that's the most important piece. Yeah, sir.
You guys talked about memories and moments and something as I'm sitting here listening, it's, when you're in it, sometimes you don't realize the moment that you're in. Right? And today, great day, right? Homecoming and Hall of Fame induction and almost kind of like a reunion of sorts, right? Because you have more people coming out because of the moment.
That's right.
And for some of us who have age on our record, the history and the sentimentality of it is letting go. But what do you see in the opportunity in this moment? After playing this game and having this experience, what's the next opportunity for the city of Youngstown and into the school?
So as Ron said, I run the community initiative to reduce violence for the city of Youngstown. And so it's my job to look at community resources so that young people, old people alike get different paths to choose. We know we've had challenges here, but what I do know is that people, if we give them choices, they can make a different path. And that's what's been happening. And so we're excited about where we're going. But I think this is a catalyst to where we can go. Coming together, man, is like what community needs, right? And I know it's hard because we're gonna lose some nostalgia, lose some history, but at the same time, man, to move forward, man, you have to be unified. And I think this is a process that's going to make us stronger, better, if the people really take to heart what it can be. It's the same thing that happened with Ron. It happened with us. They didn't think kids from the South Side can go to the West Side and acclimate ourselves and get in there and learn, but we did. because kids are resilient. You know, we need the adults. We need the adults to jump on board and make sure they're not speaking negativity and spewing poison on something that's going to be good. So I get the opportunity to work with our superintendent, who is one of my good friends, and really talk about how we're going to merge these identities to one, and how we're going to let the young people take leadership and have voice to make it happen. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity, not just for the school district, but for the city as a whole. I got to have the Chaney football team at my church. So it's about a month ago, they had a bye week, man, and I was able to bring all these guys in and pray for them. I'm a pastor, my church is in Campbell, but it was, man, we had a blast. We fed them a lot of food, and we talked about how football is connected to spirituality, right? We talked about like with God, like your spiritual life is like almost like a huddle. And every time you need something, you can go to the huddle to get the next play. So even if the one play doesn't work out, right, you can go back to the huddle and you can get a new play and you can start over. And so I think, like, as a pastor, man, when we got God like that, we always got an opportunity. We always got a chance. And so it was a blessing. But this is amazing, man. So everybody out here, hey, man, those who know the word of prayer, who have faith, keep this process in prayer and in faith. And not only that, man, get involved, right? This is why today is important, because people came. They came out, they supported, and if we support it, it's going to work. So I encourage everybody to do your part, because your part is necessary.
Well, just being here, and I'm going to be honest with you, when we do our podcast, and these guys do a fantastic job. I mean, it's top notch. It's been so impressive to see all the work they put in and the things they do, along with, everything else that goes on around the football board, right? Everybody chipping in and being part of it. Good crowd. We appreciate you coming by and for taking a minute and being part of it.
So it's good. I'll say this, man.
Pleasure of having DeWayne Thompson, my lifelong friend and teammate for Chaney High Cowboys. The two of us were defensive backfield mates, receivers, and had the honor to be part of the first Chaney High School team to make the OHS AA playoffs back in 1991. DeWayne went on to be an exceptional player, a captain for the Youngstown State University Penguins, and won a national title under Coach Tressel. It's a pleasure to have you on today. I know you're out here to support DeWayne Jr. in his last high school game. And, to our left, we have Dallas Saunders, who also has a connection to Chaney, being a longtime assistant coach under Coach Burtis. For you, DeWayne, if you can think about our time together at Chaney, and then, some of the memories that pop to the forefront in your mind about your experience being a lifelong city resident and a player and participant, and then now today getting the chance to witness your son complete his path.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying today is bittersweet because this is the last day of Chaney football, which is emotional. Last year of Chaney High School, which is emotional too, but this for charter is there. My son's been captain of Chaney football team. He's going on to college after this. Another part of this today is sweet is because my brother is getting inducted to the Chaney Hall of Fame, and my cousin DeWayne Collins. My brother being Mark Herring, and my cousin being DeWayne Collins. So we got some good genes in the family. So it's bittersweet. It's always, the one thing that you strive for is to be the best father you can be. Yes. It's not really about playing football or playing scores, just being a good father. So I'm more proud of sitting in these stands and watching my son than I was being on the field and playing with you. But that's second though. So it's always, I'm more nervous in these stands. I just had to tell my wife, I said, I wish I could just go down there and play for him. I just want to go play for him because all you hear is DeWayne Thompson, and it's just so proud and you get so nervous. So, yeah, being a lifelong resident of the city of Youngstown, born and bred. Even with my son, as he is coming up, we had so many high school coaches contacting me about him coming to play for them. No, there's only one school we playing for, and that's Chaney. We ride or die. So, and me, like I said, being born and bred here, Chaney graduated, went on to YSU, had a good career at YSU with Coach Tressel. So yeah, it's an emotional day, but bittersweet there, like I said.
And so, you've said it a couple times, bittersweet. As all of us being fathers, there's nothing more important than your kids and the experiences that you hope that they can have. What does it mean to you to be able to? It is a big day, right? It's kind of it's an ending, it's a beginning. Family members are getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, which is a big deal. It's meaningful, and you also get to watch your son. What are some of the thoughts going through your head today when you say bittersweet?
Well, one of the things I like to say is my wife and I would like to thank Coach Seth, the head coach of Chaney. This guy is phenomenal. I'm gonna get a little emotional, but he's a good guy. He showed a lot of patience with my son for 4 years. And one of the things that you want to do, what I've tried to do with my son specifically, because raising black boys is a little different these days. So I wanted to make sure I surrounded my son with the right people. I don't care about you winning or losing. I want the right people around my son. And this guy was the right person. He's a great guy. And me and my wife like to thank him and his family, because people lose sight of the fact that a coach, you see that coach, but his family is sacrificing for him being there also. Because he's there with my son all day, every day, and his kids are at home waiting for him to come home. So that's a huge sacrifice. So I'd like to thank Coach Seth and his family, and I wish the best of health for his father.
Well, I know the game's about to kick off here, and you got the nerves going, as you said. Always. And just enjoy the day. We appreciate you taking a few minutes for us, and it was great meeting you, and good luck to the Cowboys.
Thank you. Go Cowboys.
We're here at the half of a tight game, 3-0. We have the legendary Greg Brown, former quarterback from Youngstown South High School, class of '79. Mr. Brown went on to be a national championship quarterback at the NAIA level for the University of Findlay Oilers. It's a pleasure to see you after all these years. Just happened to see you standing off to the side in the crowd and recognizing that there's a legendary guy who was also an assistant coach for the East High Golden Bears through the early part of the 90s. I appreciate you taking the time to give your thoughts and how your memories in conjunction with the City Series and what's going on today. So thank you for joining us.
Cool. Just looking back on me playing about 46 years ago, looking at today, football is still going strong here in Youngstown. Just coming out this afternoon, a beautiful day. East and Chaney, the last city game here. Just looking forward to the game as far as just coming out to see and just supporting, East, even though I was from the South Side, just supporting Youngstown, period, football. Just enjoying this day of football.
So talk a little bit about your experience in South and how, that connection to what we see today and maybe next year when the schools combine and it's one high school. And, I think I coach at Chaney, Ron played, you played, and, there's an element of those before us and those that come after us. What are kind of your feelings about your experience and what we're transitioning to now?
My experience, like I said, playing football was just, just having a good time and just coaching and playing. Playing both sides. I played football, in the city. I also coached in the city for a couple of years. And just, seeing the different kids and the different athletes that you have here in Youngstown. And Youngstown football is still strong as it was back then, still today. Like I say, just enjoying the football.
You know, when you think back about your time as a player, you know, the landscape was certainly different. I think your senior season was the year before they made the move to consolidate North into East. Can you tell us a little bit about how it was for you playing here at Rayen Stadium, at South Stadium, and what the competition was like in the late 70s during your time coming to?
Well, just playing at home in South, you know, everybody wants to play on their home field, and just coming out, just seeing the stands like it is today, it's full. You got a lot of people here supporting. I remember playing over here at Rayen, and what I liked over here at Rayen was the tunnel. Everybody liked to coming out of the tunnel when that noise, you coming down off the football field like the pros do when they come out of the tunnel. So that's how we felt back then, and I think they still do a little bit of that today, because I think East might have came out of the tunnel or something like that. But just, you know, just the excitement and getting ready for football.
Well, it's you know, it's funny how the more things change, they still stay the same, right? They're still coming out of the same tunnel, and you know, you've made an impact on people. Ron sees you, and you make a mark, and you know, that it's important for us to have those relationships and people we look up to, and you know, now these guys are doing the same thing for the younger players coming up as well. So I know we appreciate you coming in and taking time to talk to us. Any final words you have for us?
Just nothing really. Just, you know, just enjoy the game. Whether whoever wins, it doesn't matter. For the city, it's just showing a good opportunity for everybody to come together and just play. Because at the end, we all the same thing anyway in Youngstown. That's well.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping by and touching base with us.
All right.
All right, we have a 3-time City Series basketball player out of East High School, Aundra Brown. Mr. Brown is currently coaching over at Chaney as an assistant, helping out with the hoops program as he is guiding his son and daughter through their experience. You know, it's a good thing to have you on today to sit in with us and give your thoughts of your time as an athlete and the city school experience in Youngstown. And then, you know, on the heels of that, just kind of getting your thoughts and your ideas of what we're out here representing today and the consolidation that's to come.
Well, I think it's community. We have to bring it back. I mean, we kind of lost a little bit of that throughout the years. I started my coaching career playing and coaching in Youngstown. I started at East before I actually came to Chaney. I took a couple years off. I'd been with a couple of previous schools, Campbell, Ursuline, and then I came back into the city, coming to Chaney. But I think it's well needed. I came up in the era when the city was thriving with all the schools, and a lot of people aren't for the merge. But I think it's just something we have to do. It's probably something we should have did a long time ago, actually, because I think if we would have done it a while back ago, we would have had this powerhouse built. And right now, this to start over, it's going to take some work, but I think we can get it done. You know, with my kids going through the experience, I've had older kids who've graduated from some of the other schools, part of that move, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people in our city, they talk, but I'm not saying I'm going to move the world or create a building or everything, but my little bit by doing my coaching is my giving back to the city for what I got. You know, I was blessed to be able to receive a scholarship to play basketball, which a lot of kids don't always get, especially in basketball. In our area, we're a football town. So for me to be blessed enough to receive that scholarship and be able to go on and play at Youngstown State, it opens your horizons to different things, and that's what I try to give back now to these kids by doing what I'm doing. My kids, my last 2 kids, are being blessed to be able to come through this experience, going to the early college program and benefiting from some of the things that are going on here that a lot of people don't take advantage or even know about, truthfully. So, you know, I think it's a great thing if you put your efforts in it. We're a fickle city to a certain degree, but when you all look at it, we always come together. No matter where you go in this state or in this world, not too many places I haven't been where I've met somebody from Ohio that knows about Youngstown or knows something about Youngstown. And if you meet somebody like that, it's usually a great time when you do that. So I want that to come back from these younger kids and learn from that type. Learn from the community experience that we have with all these people here today. It should be like this all the time, truthfully. So, you know, that's just my thing on it.
And so how do you, what are some of your thoughts and the conversations you have? And because we've talked to a lot of different people today, and the theme is we as adults have the things that we value, right? The sentimental experiences that we have. You kind of being in it, right? Being a coach and having your kids in this transition. What are some of the things that you say to people who still want to kind of hold on to what it's been and maybe not take that step to what I'm gathering from you, making that change? What are the things that you're saying to them?
I think a lot of times there's a lot of negativity about it, and the things they're going and they're going to go in all the schools. It's not just going to be a city school. You just have to. If you look at the advantages you have by coming to Youngstown City School, they're doing a lot. Mr. Batchelor, he's moving in the right direction and trying to do some things. Once we get to sports things, me being a coach, I'm not an academic. My wife's actually a teacher. So we battle a lot with the academic parts of things. And I think a lot of people look at that and think that academically, if you come out of Youngstown City Schools, that you won't be able to achieve things. And I think that's false. It's all about what you put into it and how you go about it. With me being a coach, I get upset with the kids who go to from other programs for other reasons, whatever they may be, thinking you're going to have a better grass greener type thing. And it's not. It's what you put in. If we can put a quality thing out here on the football field, because I'm in the sports, I think everything else will go. That's just I came along the era when Tressel was the coach at YSU. And the biggest thing about that era, if you look at it, we had a bunch of schools at that time, but our Youngstown crew stuck together. We get guys coming in from Cleveland or Akron and they try to dog our city. And we wasn't going for that. No, you're not going to talk about us like that. And that was a big thing for us. And I think that transferred over into the football field for those guys, and that's why they won the way they won. I'd like to see it get back to that. I don't know if it will, but that's my goal. That's what I try to do.
I definitely think, it's interesting because, Ursuline guy, East guy, Chaney guy, but still when you're here, right, there's still that Youngstown. There's still that element of, we're from here, I grew up 5 blocks from here. It's still that element of, even though there's different tribes, it's still one.
Youngstown grit.
It's it.
Okay. Youngstown grit is actually something we teach our kids when we're talking basketball. A lot of our games are played in the Akron area, so when we go to play, we want to play with that Youngstown grit. And I think that's what this time, we see this out here when we're out here on the field. You're competing, you have that, but afterwards you got to learn how to deal with each other. On the field, I'm not going to like you. If we go out there and play now, I'm not going to like you. Afterwards, we'll shake hands, we'll do it. And I think we get that misconstrued. And a lot of times it comes from the coaches trying to teach the kids that, but if you're from Youngstown and you meet somebody else from Youngstown, at the end of the day, you're going to have a good time. You're going to talk to this guy. You're going to have, that's just the way it is. That's Youngstown. That's what I love about it. I have a bunch of kids. We've all come from here, and we all got that Youngstown grit.
Good. Well, we appreciate you stepping in and taking some time, and good luck this season.
Right, thank you.
You're gearing up, right? You got.
I'm ready. I'm hyping right now. After football is basketball. It's my time of year, so I'm getting ready right now. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you too, sir. Thank you.
We have a special guest, Winphrie, class of 1996, wide receiver, defensive back out of Chaney High School. Ron went on to play at Walsh University over in Canton. He was on the second team that they ever had at that school and ended up turning into a tremendous player, had a great career there, made NAIA All-American 2 times. He is being inducted into the Chaney Hall of Fame class of 2025. So it's a pleasure to get to see him after so many years and have him on giving his thoughts and his memories of his time as a player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. Great honor to be inducted in the Chaney Hall of Fame. A lot of good players, so to be in that rare company is definitely a blessing, and so excited to be here for sure. For memories of Chaney, I remember coming into Chaney. I was able to see y'all was the first playoff team, right? First playoff team, Akron Bookroom. The Akron Bookroom was able to experience in that, and that kind of set the gauntlet for like what would later become Chaney's successes as far as city and regionals and districts and state titles to come. But That team definitely set the foundation, definitely motivation for me as well, and was glad to follow in their footsteps. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's I've had the opportunity. I started coaching at Chaney shortly after you left, and well, the guys talk about the success, right? And Juan's group really set that tone, and then that became the expectation. So I've had the opportunity to hear your name, and you talked about Ron's group really setting the tone and the expectation with that first playoff team, and that first playoff appearance, the first playoff win, that became the standard. So maybe talk a little bit about that, and also talk about being inducted almost 30 years after, right? That probably lands a little bit differently, having some nostalgia in years and understanding what that means, and maybe even just talk a little bit about that induction and what that means to you.
Like I said, yeah, as far as just the team, I was having a conversation with one of the other players on that team, Mark Herring, and I just distinctly remember like the talent that those guys had, especially from a guy coming from the junior high ranks to being on Chaney's, and being able to see the success of that team. Prior to that, I didn't really have a whole lot of knowledge about Chaney because I grew up on the east side and ended up switching to south side right around the time, a little bit before South closed. So coming in there and they talked about tradition and building it, and then being able to follow in these guys' footsteps was like I mean, I had never seen anything collectively like that. And after they did leave, their presence was felt for many teams after. And like I said, it just started the reins for continued success. So the product that you was able to see year after year, definitely, if I had to say as far as I'm concerned, it definitely started with Ron's team. And you see it in you see little bits and pieces of it after in every other team since then. So as far as me being into the Hall of Fame, this is actually my second one because I'm in Walsh's Hall of Fame as well. But this one means something different, because I'm a city guy through and through. I left for a little bit, but I came back. I reside here now. It's my home. It's always been my home. So to know that you will be imprinted in the history of a school with a tradition like Chaney, I can't really put it into words. Like, I'm extremely humbled. I'm supposed to speak tonight, and I don't even know exactly what I'm gonna say, but extremely humble, extremely grateful. I'm appreciative that people thought enough of me to think that I belonged. I tell a story about one of my coaches at Chaney, Mike Butch Jr. And I was a loudmouth, supposed to be confident person, but I wasn't really as confident as my mouth might make you believe. But he was like the first one who made me believe that I was what I said I was. And I took some of them lessons, and they've taken me past Chaney, past Walsh, into my professional life. Like I said, the lessons that I learned, like I can't express it, but once again, extremely grateful, extremely humble for the experience.
I can kind of piggyback and attest to some of the things that you're expressing, just the paces that Coach Burtis put us through, the accountability and the standard that he held us to as young men. I think looking back at it now as an older man and the father myself, you just realize that sometimes you can see the good in a person. They just may need a little bit reeling in and a push in the right direction. You're somebody that took advantage of the opportunities that were placed in front of you, and you made the most of them. So it's good for me to see you on a day like today and realize that, you're getting some of your recognition, but even beyond just that little moment, what we were given out here as city school kids and football players, it's been something that we've been able to pull from the well time and time again. So I thank you for coming on here and sharing with us and being a representative of that time period in our lives.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, loved it. Glad to be here. Glad to see a lot of people and a lot of things that Coach Burgess and the rest of the coaches established. Is Chaney High School is a brotherhood. It's a family. Like I said, I'm seeing you for the first time in over 20 years, and I feel connected, and we always connected, and I know we can always reach out to each other, and that was all. The foundations was set in that field behind Chaney High School on them hot summer days and them tour days, and Coach Burgess riding us like cowboy. But yeah, the lessons that we learned and the lessons that I learned from here definitely have taken them to every aspect of my life going forward. So, yeah, glad to see you, brother. I'm so excited to see you and grateful for you guys having me as well.
Thank you, and definitely congratulations here.
All right, we have Sammy G, all-city defensive back out of Youngstown, Woodrow Wilson, class of 1988. Sammy G was one of the first four-year starters over at Wilson High School playing for the Redmen under Coach John Kopp. We've had the pleasure of having Coach Kopp on and giving his thoughts of the days and the times that he had from 1979 all the way up to the 1992 season. Can you give us some of your thoughts and your memories on your days playing for the Redmen, and then, tell us a little bit about what you do in the district here and the direction that you think it's going?
Sure. First of all, everything we say about John Kopp's board, then no one knows how much he really meant for the whole city. I mean, Chaney, Wilson, you talk to everyone knows Mr. Kopp, period, case closed. And that's how I try to form my life after what he taught me on the football field and, as a student, as a person. I'm still friends with him, still talk to him, not weekly, but I still talk to him at least monthly. Same with his children. And, I can't say nothing negative. Everything's positive. And, like I said, he's like a father to me, period. Playing at Wilson was great, City was the city then, everyone knew everyone. Rivalry here we have today is great, but after the game, everyone loved each other. I mean, and everyone knew when you played at Youngstown School, you were going to get a battle. Win, lose, or draw, at the end of the day, everyone got along. That's what I could say about playing for Youngstown City.
What were some of the key things that Coach Kopp instilled in you in terms of technique, but more so, some of the things that you use in life and apply to you as a man?
Well, be accountable for your actions. I mean, definitely taught me that, right, wrong, be accountable. Respect, your neighbor, respect your family, respect everyone. Never ill-fate upon nothing, and, hopefully I live by that every day, yeah, but do I still make mistakes? Of course, we all do. But at the end of the day, he taught me structure, and that's the one guy. God bless my dad. He's passed that. He respected Mr. Kopp tremendously, also. So like I said, I got nothing. It's all sentimental to me.
What are some of the things that you think about today? Right, this is a really impressive day from the turnout to the game itself. And kind of an ending of sorts and a new beginning. What are some of your thoughts about that transition, not just athletically, but high school wise and in athletics also?
That, but actually excited for the future, because I mean, at the end of the day, put these two together right now and properly coach. They're playing next week. Actually, they'll probably have a bye week because they could be that good. A lot of talent on it. Their offense, defense, O-line, skill. I think the future is tremendously bright. I think, God bless whoever the coach is, he's going to be inheriting a good group of kids, good group of team, and, just teach them, accountability, ethics, earn what you get. Don't think you're entitled. And, that's it.
I appreciate you coming on today and giving your thoughts and the great sentiments that you said about Coach Kopp. It matches everything that I've ever seen out of the man. And it's good to see that people that are part of that Youngstown Foundation are still pouring into the district, whether it be coaching, working as an employee, or just these kids that are coming up to experience the same experience that you, Dallas, and I have. So thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
We have a recognizable face, well-known personality from the area, Coach PJ Fecko, who is currently the athletic director for the Youngstown City School District. Coach Fecko was a state championship winning coach over at Cardinal Mooney High School, worked under the great legendary Coach Don Butchie for years, and was also a player for Coach Butchie, graduating 1992, same class as our superintendent, Mr. Jeremy Batchelor. It's a pleasure to see you in a different space than what we may be accustomed to, but I think that just speaks to your commitment to doing service and to support kids. With you having a long-run coach and an opportunity to face different teams from the city around the area, now, how do you view that from the mind of a coach, but the function of an administrator and a support person?
I think it's really a unique role coming from the perspective of a coach, because you can break it down into two different things. It's obviously the sport itself and the coaching of it and the mentoring and how how young athletes are programmed and how they react to things, and then the administrative role. So you've got to be able to kind of cut it in half and cut it into pieces, and it's a very different avenue dealing with coaches as it is to the school functions of things, the budget functions of things, and all the overall organization. But the coach always comes out. Because at the end of the day, we're all here for the kids, and that's the important part. And having dealt so many years with the student athletes in the kid role, you know exactly what the coaches are thinking and how the kids are thinking.
And how do you, something I'm interested in, how do you go from, being a head coach for a number of years and running your program, and how do you then translate that into being in your role now, and in essence probably coaching your coaches, right? Your head coaches, and developing those programs and things that you've seen successful, very successful from what you did, but giving your head coaches the autonomy to kind of take those principles but still be their own person and personality.
It's very, it's a unique situation. And the first thing you got to understand is you're not the coach. All those years of experience, obviously I can predict pitfalls along the way or things that I've seen that I know that these coaches are going to be going through, so I can help head them in the right direction and head them off from those things. And it is, you got to be able to separate yourself. And I was lucky when I came up as a head coach. I was, as he was saying, I was an assistant coach for Don Butchie for so many years. He was the athletic director when I took over. And Don did an outstanding job of letting me stumble along the way and staying out of things. A lot of times I'd go in and say, hey, what do you think here? And he would laugh and he'd look and he'd say, that's why they're paying you the big bucks. Figure it out. Now he would obviously help me in any way that he would, but he would not make any decisions for me. So having gone through that and now in this role, I'm the same way with the head coaches and trying to push them and guide them in the right direction. My door is always open to them, and as they come in, the more they want. Obviously, I have a lot to feed to them, but not necessarily force feed unless obviously there's a situation where, I'm forced to. But watching them grow, and it's really rewarding. I mean, I'm going down the road and sitting here watching and knowing what's in their minds in the different parts of the game and all that. And coaching's coaching. It doesn't matter if it's in football, basketball, or baseball or any other sport. Building a program, building the foundation, and everything you need to do as a coach is the same in every sport. And then obviously it's sport specific when it comes to strategies and things like that.
You've had a lifetime of experience in seeing how the approach to the game has changed over the years. As a player, you come out of a proven system, the stack I, and then you're taking over the reins as a lot of people are switching over to spread football and opening up and using the pass as a first strategy as opposed to the run setting up the pass in the era that we came from. When you look out there and you see the athletes that are under your charge as an athletic director and you marry that with the consolidation that's due to take place next year, what is your hope for those kids as they look for those opportunities and representing a new era and a new chapter in football here?
It's an exciting time, and that's my hope, is they realize how exciting of a time it is in the city of Youngstown. I mean, this is obviously a historic day today with the ending of one chapter, but the chapter that is yet to be written is going to be a wonderful chapter. And bringing everybody together and consolidating to one obviously makes the school community stronger. It makes the community stronger and puts everybody on the same page and on the same side. And it really makes athletics stronger. When you are, the more bodies you bring into a program, it creates greater competition. It creates greater opportunities to get things done in practice, which all of those things make greater opportunities for successful teams, successful athletes. You're going to be better the more somebody is pushing you and on your heels.
Transition and how that goes. So
We appreciate it. It's going to be a tremendous run, and we have the opportunity to build this thing from the bottom up and build it the right way and get everybody on the same page. And thankfully, like you say, the leadership that we have in the Youngstown City schools right now is a great group of people that are extremely dedicated to the success of Youngstown and these young folks in Youngstown. So we're excited.
That's a great thing to hear. I agree with your sentiments. You couldn't have a better group of men taking this transition into the next phase. So I'm glad to get the chance to talk to you for a few moments, and I look forward to seeing the product that you guys put out for the whole city of Youngstown going forward.
Yep, you appreciate it, no?
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Well, this was a great day today, and I had the opportunity to talk to a number of individuals from pretty much all across the city, from every city school and a couple of the surrounding schools with Ursula and Mooney. Looks like the game's ending here with a real tight game, and definitely want to thank the scholars and the staff from Chauvin for all their efforts. I know they came in early and set everything up, and they still have to pare down, but much appreciated from them. They did a fantastic job. And I think one thing that I took from today's conversations was just the unity that even though two schools are closing, there's still an element of unity. Some disappointment in closing, but also really looking at the opportunities that are in front. So, just a good day, good opportunity to be out here and talk to a lot of different people.
And I think it showed through in the guests that we had on today that the theme of the day is it's all Youngstown at the end of the day. No matter if you come under the banner of North Bulldogs, Rayen Tigers, East Golden Bears, Chaney Cowboys, Wilson Redmond, it's all Youngstown. And for them to play as a tightly contested game as they did today. The turnout that was produced in this stadium today and the direction that this city is going in, I think that when we come back next year, we'll be in for a treat in terms of what they're able to produce. And I think it'll be better for the health of city athletics, the feel of the city, and just moving forward. So, I'm looking forward and excited to see what's going to come.
Yeah, and it was a total team effort today from everybody that was being honored, all the things that took place behind the scenes to make the day happen, from the block party, the tailgate party beforehand, to the production, to the game being played itself. So I just thought it was a great day.
We'll catch you next time with One More Down. If you'd like to follow our page, you can find us at One More Down Podcast on YouTube. You can find us at One More Down Podcast on Instagram. And then you can find us at One More Down Podcast on Facebook. We appreciate Superintendent Batchelor extending us the opportunity to work in conjunction with his great staff today. I was impressed with the way that the student audio-visual team handled us with care and their professionalism. So this school district and this program is in great. Thank you.